I am Inez. And first, I want to say the views of this show do not reflect those of the WCEG network. We are live streaming on YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, and WCEGTalkRadio.com. So please go ahead and check us out on one of those platforms. But this will also be uploaded to 12 platforms that do podcasting. So it'll probably be on your favorite. So don't forget to subscribe and definitely comment when you can. Alexa, play WCEG Talk Radio. And I wanted to let you know that we are now available on the Roku store, the App Store, as well as the Google Play Store. WCEG is the worldwide community empowerment group where we speak life into the community. I am Ines, as I've already stated, and I am hosting multilingual intergenerational conversations. Today, we have a very special guest, and I know a lot of people say that, but I wanted to explain first how we met before we dive into this interview, if that's okay with you all. So a few weeks ago, well, I guess a couple months ago now, I was going to InvestFest, and beforehand, I was a little nervous about taking the MARTA by myself, the MARTA train in Atlanta. And it's because my whole life, people told me I'm kidnappable material, and Atlanta is one of the capitals for human trafficking. I'm 5'1", and I'm under 150 pounds. So I need to always travel with someone. But for this specific event, I didn't really have anyone I could travel with. So I prayed and I asked God if God was sure that I was supposed to be taking a train. Because I could go and park and all of that. But I took the train there. In the morning time, it's not as sketchy. But at nighttime, I was like, ooh, it's going to be a little difficult. But in this season, I'm telling God yes, and I'm walking by faith. So I was like, you know what? I got to get back to my car anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and take the train. I got Google in my ear telling me the directions. So I get to the train platform, and this couple comes up, and they were at InvestFest, and they were asking me questions. And then our guest was there. And then I looked up and I was like, wow, I don't think I can guess his height accurately. With me being my height, I've been this height for almost 20 years. I guess people heights all the time, and I'm generally off by maybe an inch or two at most. So it was like, I'm a guess, but I'm probably going to be wrong. I made the guess, but when I met you, God showed me that you were my security for this event, and I know you didn't ask for that job, but I didn't give it to you. It was God, so you can blame God if you're gonna be mad at somebody. But I'm very happy we did meet, because when we met, we were having regular conversations, as I hope to continue today. But I didn't even know you were who you are. You've interviewed Lotto before she was Big Lotto. So you interviewed Lil Lotto. You interviewed Kevin Gates, Kiki Wyatt, Kanye, Pastor Jamal Bryant, Master P, Shaq, Mary, Brittany Griner, Mimi Foss, Russell Simmons, Mally Music, Boosie, Princess from Crime Mob, Yolanda Adams. That's just to name a few. It's like trying to list everyone Oprah interviewed. So I'm very honored that you agreed to be here with me today. Can you please introduce yourself?
Can I do an applause sound effect with all of that nice intro?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, thank you, Ines. I definitely appreciate you. My name is Cory Sanders. I go by the name of Tall Boy. I did not send out an invoice, so I guess this is my payment of coming onto this show today for being your security at the InvestFest. It was a pleasure. Had an opportunity to learn some valuable insights from that conference or seminar that they put on. And it was funny because I think the second night we ended up bumping into each other, and, I made sure that you got back to the train, and, it was like, I'm from old Atlanta. So my thing is ride MARTA. It's smarter, right? And a lot of people kind of feel funny when it comes to that kind of stuff. But my thing is I'm good. But I guess for me, I don't look at it as I have to be a protector or MARTA is sketchy. It's like, this is my home and I love it. So I've always felt good on public transportation. So I hate that you have that negative, or you felt a negative connotation of the sketchy transportation, because I grew up on it. But and I knew that, hey, for $2.50 or $5 round trip, I can do whatever I need to do, as opposed to spending $30 or $40 for parking and wasting gas just to get to the location and dealing with traffic. So for me, it was a blessing just to be able to just say, I'm at home. I'm able to transport myself to the event safely for pennies on the dollar.
Well, before I dive into our questions, I wanted to ask you, how can we reach you on your social media?
I'm available on social media personally at I Am Tallboy, but I also have a tech show called The Lab Tech Show. So if you search for me, Google me at I Am Tallboy, you'll find all of that information there. But then also, I'm pretty sure we're going to be talking a little bit of what I do. You can find me at The Lab Tech Show. So either I Am Tallboy or The Lab Tech Show.
Is it hard for you to remain down to earth, like, being 7 foot tall and then like having the portfolio you have?
I think a lot of people don't know who I really am and what I do. I think if that makes any case, and I'm just a regular person. I've always just tried to fit in. You know, my grandmother used to say, all you have is your name and your word, right? So if you tell people you're going to do something, say what you mean what you say. And I've always tried to remember that. So I grew up in the projects. I grew up in the middle class neighborhood. I grew in a higher end neighborhood, living with my aunt, my mom, and my grandmother. So living with all three of them, I had a chance to see the different sides of life. And my thing was, everybody puts their pants on the same way. So, I mean, my thing is just be you, and there's no need to be another representative. Just be yourself.
So, with how you lived in different kinds of neighborhoods growing up, is that related to why you started your community initiative?
No, I wouldn't say that. I have a previous background of playing sports, but then I walked away from that cold turkey, and I was just passionate about wanting to um, be an on-air personality or web personality. Let me make sure I say that correctly. I wanted to be a personality be the first web personality for a popular radio station here in Atlanta. That job did not exist at the time. There was no such job or no such title as that. But I just had this dream of being this for this company. And my mentor, rest in peace to the great Silas Sideman Baby
Mhm.
Alexander, he told me, he says, just get your foot in the door. And once you get your foot in the door, then you go from there. And my thing was, I just wanted to be able to talk to people, have a regular conversation with them, and then find something intriguing with them, and then from there build relationship and then build community. So that was really what the true definition of who Tallboy was all about, if that makes sense. And then from there, I saw a need when it comes to technology, something that I'm truly passionate about, and said, hey, how can I help you? I also saw a need of video production. People want to be in front of a camera. People need content created for them. So my thing is, I can create this for you, but to have other people believe in what you're doing. What I've learned here in Atlanta is a lot of people want it, but they don't want to pay for it, if that makes sense. So you want something, but you don't want to pay for it. I haven't figured that part out yet. So, but that's really the core of just wanting to be the first web personality on a very popular radio station. And then from there, I just started building from there. And then from there, it was just building community, and people got a chance to know who I was and what I'm all about.
So, if funding were no issue, so let's say you get a grant and you have more than what you asked for,
Mhm.
what are the first four things you're doing?
Funding was no issue. I would hire a team of people that are passionate about what they're doing. I don't want to hire you because you're looking for a job. That's first and foremost. I want to make sure that I'm finding people that are passionate about what they're doing. Two, media controls the mind. So my thing is, just like you're doing, we're creating platforms to where we can get the content out, if that makes sense. 3, advertising, and just really just being out in the community and just showcasing what we can do. And I think 4, I definitely would, and this is one of my things that my mentor, he did, I would really try to find a way to get the youth to understand what we're doing to where they're the future, but I'm also reaching to the seniors as well, 50 plus, 40 plus, 45. I'm in my 40s, so I'm not a senior, but I'm trying to get elders to see, hey, how do we bridge the gap between the young and the old, if that makes sense.
Well, that makes me really grateful that you're here for this intergenerational conversation, because this is the point of the show like this. So, and I see that you've been using your platform to do something similar. So I mentioned earlier how you were my security guard at from the Invest Festing,
Right.
but you also use your platform to connect with companies like L, where they talked about how their app connects or helps young women use their phone to be safe. So you use your, it's lab tech show. I don't know why my brain keeps wanting to say tech lab, but lab tech show. What else would you be doing with it? Like in the future, what do you plan to do moving forward with
The dream would be, and it's no different from what we saw at InvestFest, building a community to where we can be able to reach and touch the people. I would love for them to say we're at a mall and we're saying, hey, meet us here on this Saturday at this time. We're going to have company A, B, C, and D to come down, and they're going to show you the products and let you see what these products and how it actually works for you. Make it show you in real time what the use cases are for those products. I would love to be able to do that to where we can actually go into community and say, not only does App L work, but have you heard about BenjiLock? Have you heard about Trova? Have you heard about Lexup? Have you heard about these different companies and how this could be a use case for you, your family, your spouse, or just, you know, for your workflow?
Okay, so you mentioned mall. I know, I know you said a lot of stuff after that, and I hear you. But I think we have opposite issues when we go to the mall. That was
No,
what
I
the
mean,
first
you
thing
could
that came
do it
to mind was.
you could do it at a convention center, but I want people to
No,
feel
I'm
comfortable.
talking different. I'm talking about like when we go to the mall and we're going shopping for clothes. I struggle with finding clothes that fit me because I'm short. And I believe you struggle with finding clothes that fit you because of your height. So I saw that you have your own clothing line. Would you like
Mm.
to tell us about that?
Wow, you really did do your research. That's good. So it's funny because during the pandemic, I was seeing a lot of people come out with their merch. And I was like, I would love to do this. But the thing about the merch is finding something that people would relate to and also something that people would appreciate. With the tech show, I wanted to be able to find, we have a segment called the Word of the Day, which is through Merriam-Webster's Word of the Day. So we find words, and we have a resident truck driver who has a word, and he has to define that word in simple terms. So talk to me like a truck driver, right? And so we decided to put some of the sayings on t-shirts, and then some of the sayings that I normally would say. I don't have the bandwidth to deal with this. Stay in your lane. So I try to come up with catchy sayings and say, hey, let's put this on a t-shirt. Let's put this on a hat. Let's put this on what do you call it? A tumbler, or let's put that on a pillow, or whatever the case may be. So the website is shop.tallboy.us. So once again, that's shop.tallboy.us. So shop.tallboy.us, and you can go there and you can find the merch. And the cool thing about it is 2 things. You can go up to a 5X. So as low as a small, all the way up to a 5X, because I'm 7 feet tall and I need stuff to fit me too. And so to be able to find something, at least t-shirts or clothing that, you know, I struggle with this going into a mall. And I don't even buy clothes anymore inside of the malls because I know I can't find anything. And then secondly, my thing was, I did not want to have the product in hand, if that makes sense. My thing was I wanted you to have a seamless process. So not only do you purchase online, it's shipped to you within 3 to 5 business days. And then the added caveat to this is you get a personalized message from me when you make a purchase. So my thing is, hey, I get a chance to see what you purchased once you make the purchase, and I send you a personalized message. And when you make that, and now to me, it's building community, letting you know who I am and letting you know that I truly appreciate you. How many other clothing brands allow you to do something like that?
That's awesome. Okay, so I was looking at your store, and you have a shirt. I'm definitely getting this one. It says "Date the body, marry the lens." But can you explain that for our viewers?
All right, so I am a shooter. So a shooter is a cameraman, and basically that shirt is really more of the saying is we every year a new camera or a new phone comes out, right? And we're always buying the newest gear. But the thing is, you really just need the camera. You don't need, I mean, you don't need multiple cameras. So right now I have the T5, the T7, the 7D. Then I switched over to Sony and I had the A63. I got the A7, I got the A51. So I bought all these bodies, right? But I never thought about the lenses. Well, the lenses is what really makes it all happen. So to be honest with you, if I would have invested in my lenses, then I could have said, do I need a wide shot? Do I need a zoom shot? Do I need a close-up shot? So I should have went with a 35 millimeter versus a 50 millimeter versus a 16 millimeter. So, or 70 to 200 lens. So a lot of people that are shooters, they would understand what that means when it means instead buy the base, but then invest in your lenses. So that's what that means.
Wow. That is nowhere near what I thought the shirt was about. Nowhere near. I thought it was okay. So, like, the body, the person, yeah. And then the lens, like, date someone for their perspective. But you're
Mm.
talking about it from a whole artistic perspective. And I'm just thinking of it from like a regular normie, not in the a production field kind of perspective. But would you be able to tell our viewers what type of clothing you make so that they know what to expect when they go to your store?
Right now, currently, we have t-shirts, hats, tumblers. I think we have mouse pads and we have wine tumblers. And I think that's it. It's something else on there. I'm stickers because I wanted to find something for every price point. But the goal is eventually, it has been brought to my attention that I need to do a fall drop. So I have to find some time, but I'm going to start coming out with clothes for women. I have to find
Give us
two or three.
pockets. Give us real pockets, not no little. If it can't
Okay.
fit your wallet, then you're gonna have to keep paying for stuff.
Okay. So I got to sit down with like 3 or 4 women and say, what is it that you're looking for? But I also
Put
wanted to
me on that
find,
list.
I definitely wanted to find something for pets, and I definitely wanted to cater to babies or infants. And that way it's, you never know, like, for example, if you go to a popular college, such as, let's just say, if you're in the HBCU world, Morehouse or Howard or Spelman, they dress their kids in that gear. Alabama, Georgia, Michigan State, they literally dress their kids, their pets, they dress them in that. So it was brought to my attention, Tallboy, expand your scope. Don't just think, like with your blinders on, let's open it up. So my thing was, okay, I'm open to that. But my thing is, I don't have kids, I don't have pets, so I don't know what somebody would want. So I need to find someone that it has some experience in that field and say, let me see, what is it that you're looking for? Because I don't want it to just sit on the site. I want people to see. Not only do I want you to see it, I want you to purchase it, and I want you to be proud when you wear it. The quality products, they have a different list of companies. So everyone from your Champion to your Bella to whatever the name brands are. My thing is I'm looking for the quality shirt. So I don't want something that's going to shrink on you, something that's going to fade on you. I want it to be quality and you're going to be proud wearing it. And once again, I'm putting my stamp on it because once you purchase it, I'm sending you a private message or sending you a personalized message saying that I truly appreciate you. And I don't know any other company that's stepping it up and doing something of that magnitude.
Okay, so I'm volunteering myself as tribute because I've been wanting to work with someone about creating a mommy and me line. There are so many mommy and me things, but they're all ugly. Not all of them are ugly, but like I haven't bought any of them. So I want something that I can connect with, that my audience can connect with, because we're people of color. We don't necessarily shop at the same stores as what all the mommy and me stuff is, but like a family line. Like I want to go somewhere and it looked like our family came together. Like I want my husband to be able to wear something that looks similar to what I wear, and our daughter, and whatever other kids we have in the future. I want us to look like we came together. It doesn't have to be the same shirt, but like something that looked like it was made by the same company. So I would love to work with you because I have so many ideas about that. And like, if you can find someone to do the work for us, I will be the first fan for that. And then also, one of my friends in the production industry, his name is Michael Stewart. He has 4 dogs.
Mm.
So I work with him often. He shoots a lot of my stuff. He even did my headshots. So I will get you his information because he has 4 dogs. And if you're looking for something with pets, I'm personally not an animal person, but I know he loves dogs.
You ready to dance?
Absolutely. I'm always ready to dance.
Go, 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 go.
I might not be a good dancer, but I'm always ready to
Well, you
dance.
felt it
I
though.
don't
You
know.
felt the energy. You felt the energy when it came off.
I've been
That's
dancing since like 6 a.m. So
that's awesome. I love it.
you mentioned your word of the day that you use on your lab tech show.
Mhm.
And I wanted to introduce something for my show. Like
Okay.
I was like, oh, this is such a brilliant idea. I wanted to introduce the song of the day. So
Mm.
my song of the day, because music moves people so much, is On Time God by Chandler Moore. And it was at the Woman Evolve experience for 2023. It was 40,000 women. Most of them look like me. And we had church, we had therapy, all in one sitting. We even had a comedy show. The DJ there, DJ Miko, Meiko. Oh my gosh, this DJ had me cracking up. And you seem like you like music too. So he was playing, you interviewed Boosie. He played an
A
instrumental
Boosie
version
instrumental.
of
Yeah, I've
Boosie.
seen that. Yeah.
Yes,
I
but
respect
like
DJs
by
that do that.
Graziato.
Okay.
And this was a church event.
Hmm.
So we were all in there like getting hyped, but then
Turned
we was like,
up.
wait a second.
Turned all the way. I got you. I'm with it. No, I have some friends, the Go Ye DJs. They specialize in that style of DJing where they play the urban instrumentals with the gospel lyrics. And when I say the turn up is real, the turn up is really real when you get around guys that know gospel and they also know hip hop.
So, how are you going to move forward in these next 12 weeks? Because it's only 12 weeks left in the year.
I
It's
know.
only 12 weeks left in the year. This year went by so fast. I know we always say that, but
Did
like
it?
for me, it did. I mean, it's been a really hard and awesome year. Like it's been really good on both sides. So I'm not complaining. But 12 weeks left. I mean, from tomorrow. Tomorrow is October 8th. It's
Mhm.
12 weeks according to the Sundays until January 1st.
Okay.
What are you going to get done?
So I have a lot, and it's funny because you have somewhat rejuvenated me when it comes to saying, hey, there's so much more that needs to be done. I'm in the process of rebuilding my Tall Boy website. So I have the Lab Tech Show website. I have my video production website already completed. But then one of the goals was to have my Tall Boy website redone because it was done back in 2007 and it really never got any serious upgrades. So I have a gentleman that's in the process of rebuilding for me. And I really want to be able to showcase what we're doing. I just did a partnership with a company that's based in France. And I want to be able to introduce a mouse to the US market, a computer mouse that will
I was
simplify.
like a mouse. I wanted to confirm.
Yeah, it's a computer mouse that simplifies your workflow. So it's called the Lexit mouse. So my goal is to at least be able to get uh, get enough information so then that way we can roll out in 2024. And this mouse is pretty cool because the standard person, if you use a computer, anybody that uses a computer, you know you have to scroll over to the right and scroll up and down, right? If you have multiple tabs open on your computer screen, such as Google Chrome, YouTube, Facebook, your website, or maybe any other business website that you like, you have to scroll up and click at the top of your screen. Well, this mouse will allow you with this joystick here on the left side of it. If you flick it up or you flick it down, it will allow you to switch the tabs. So that way you don't have to scroll all the way up to the top. And then also, if you need to scroll down or scroll forward, you can press the mouse backwards or forwards, and your screen will go up or down. I had a chance to meet this company at the Consumer Electronics Show this year. And I was like, hey, you're marketing this as a gaming mouse. And I think that you're marketing this in the wrong capacity. I think you need to market it as a business solution or a productivity mouse. But no one knows about this mouse. They have one competitor, and the mouse that the competitor is selling it for is $100. This is half the cost. They literally shelved this product and they came out with another mouse. And I'm like, no, 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 no. This is the mouse that you need to have, but you market it as a gaming mouse, whereas this is a mouse that you should have marketed to business people and had it in Office Depots, Staples, or whatever the respective store is. But if you put it in GameStop, you're not going to find those customers going into GameStop to go find this mouse. So we're in the process of possibly doing a whole redesign of this. So I need to do some research. I need to come up with a solid plan to basically reintroduce this mouse. I literally flew to France to go meet with this company in May and say, hey, let's find a way to make this better. I pitched to them right after InvestFest, and they were really impressed with my presentation. And I think we might be able to do something. So between the website, that, and trying to grow the audience base on the Lab Tech Show, I think that those are the three things that I have to figure out going into 2024. And then 2024, I jump in running at the Consumer Electronics Show the first week of January. So to find out what the next new set of products are. So December is normally a good mentor of mine. Her name is Renee Miller. If you're in the Atlanta market, you probably know her from jazz and the Georgia Lottery. She used to always say, "Tall boy, you have to know your season." And I never understood what she said. And she says, always a time to plant, a time to water, a time to watch it grow, and a time to manifest. You have to know your season. And when you learn your season, then you will be able to move in life the way you need to move. And so I've learned that my manifest season is normally around December, January, February, March, and then I tend to slow down around that time. This year, I tried to switch it up, but I'm praying but you have to find time to plant. You got to find time to water. You got to find time to let it grow. And you have to also find time to manifest. And I'm trying to manifest throughout the whole year, and I'm starting to see a burnout coming before me. So it's like, okay, we're about to go into your season. What are we going to do? So I have some goals that I have set out, but this is where I'm at.
Wow, that's awesome that you've been able to go to France and have that conversation with them so that now they become a partner. Not only you were potentially a client, you became a partner with them. So with what you're saying about the manifest season, you made me think like, oh my gosh, like this is my manifest season. I've been planting seeds. So that's why for me this year has gone by fast. Like earlier this year, I lost my grandfather. He's you might have known him. Like you said, you're from Old Atlanta. You might have known my grandfather. His name was Reverend R.L. White. I don't know how much you know about the church side of Atlanta, like the Baptist church side, but he's on his church was on Marietta Street in Atlanta, and he's been there for 53 years. So
Okay.
that was my grandfather. This year, he moved on to his next phase. And so other than that, this year I've been living in his prayers, continuing his work, but it took me losing him for me to realize that we're in the same line of work of trying to get as many people to move in their divine purpose. And that's why I love when you earlier you said you love working with, you want to hire passionate people. That's my goal. Because if you need a job, you can go get a job anywhere. But if you're going to work with me, I'm trying to move forward. I'm trying to elevate and move to the next level. So like everything I'm doing now is planting seeds for my next harvest. But I don't watch a lot of TV, but recently I was watching a show on Disney about farming. I'm trying to get a green thumb, so I'm trying to learn everywhere. So when you use this analogy, I was like, oh, this is perfect. They talk about farming in the Bible, and I'm trying to actually get a green thumb. So let me watch this show. And they talked about how this lady in Seattle, she gets berries all year long because she plants frequently. And so as I'm harvesting this manifestation of what I've been praying for, I'm planting seeds for the next level. And it sounds like that's what you're doing with your getting your website together, your partnership. But I do have another question. Est-ce que tu peux parler le français?
I understood what you said, but I do not speak French. I do not have. Well, and it's funny because I started to bring my translator over here with me to the table, but I do not have it. So I do not speak French. I just know bonjour and au revoir. That's it. And I know hola, ¿cómo estás? That's it. And I know that you're in the ASL realm, so I do not know anything. So hopefully you'll teach me something in the ASL realm before we end the show.
Okay. Well, I will teach you something at the end. But before we get to that, I wanted to ask you a few more questions.
So what did you say in French? I want to know, what did you say in French?
Oh, I said, oh, can you speak French?
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not proficient in French. No.
I wanted to ask you, these are random questions. You already answered all of my real questions. So now we can have a full conversation. So
Okay.
was it weird looking Shaq in the face because everyone else is shorter than you?
No, it's not, because I've had a couple of encounters with Shaquille O'Neal on multiple occasions. A lot of people don't know this, and I don't think he knows this, but my first encounter with Shaquille O'Neal was my junior year in college. We played against LSU, and it was the game that they retired his jersey. So I actually played in that game, and we got blown
so
out.
Cool. I mean, but I know, but like, it's so cool that you have this memory. Like,
secondly, my second encounter with Shaq was at the Consumer Electronics Show, and I did the interview, and it was crazy because I introduced him as Dr. Shaquille O'Neal, and as soon as I introduced him as Dr. Shaquille O'Neal, he literally, another aura of him opened up, and he had no problems at giving me whatever I asked for in the interview. So he was very personable. I mean, the interview flowed freely. You know, people are there to talk about tech products, but I mean, it was like we can talk, and it felt like a true connection. My third encounter with him was with Oreo. He had did a promotion with them here in Atlanta, and I was told I couldn't get the interview. And when I introduced myself, I just said, let him know that Tallboy's here. And he was like, Tallboy? Yeah, he's good. Yeah. So they were telling me, no, I could not get the interview.
Favorite, boy.
And when he heard the name Tallboy, it was like, yeah, he gets through. Like, I mean, they told me like I could not get the interview at all. It wasn't happening. And as soon I said, just let him know that Tallboy's here. And as soon as I got the interview with him, it was there. So my fourth encounter, Lotto, her dad and I, we have a good relationship. He called me one day and he says, Tallboy, how tall are you? And I really hate it when people ask me how tall I am, but I told him, you know, I'm 7 feet tall. And he said, really? And he said, man, they're looking for a stand-in for a movie and want to know if you would be interested. So he said, call this number. So I called the lady and I said, we're just having a casual conversation. And I said, yeah, I've interviewed, Shaquille O'Neal. I named off some of the other people that I've interviewed in my life. And she was like, you interviewed Shaquille O'Neal? Can you send me that video? So I sent her the video. I didn't hear anything from them, right? And when I didn't hear anything from them, I get an email or a text the night before, said, meet me out in Covington. And I'm like, I'm not driving to Covington from where I was staying in at the time. And my friend was like, just go out there. You just never know what's going to happen. I drive out there and they say, hey, you can get whatever you want to eat. What do you mean, whatever I want to eat? Whatever you want, we can make it for you. So this is craft services, right? So I'm like, okay. So they're like, well, we're going to take you to set. So they take me to the trailers first. They make me put on a fat suit. So I don't even know what the movie is. I don't know nothing about it. I just literally just do what they asked me to do. I show up on set and lo and behold, they're filming the movie Uncle Drew, and Shaquille O'Neal is one of the main characters. And I'm like, so when he turned around and saw me, we hugged and it was like, oh my God. So then about 2 years later, he did another movie with What Men Want, with Taraji P. Henson, and they needed someone for that as well. And so I was his stand-in for that. And so from there, I mean, the relationship is built from there.
Wow. So you can say y'all friends now, right? After
Something
all
like
those
that.
encounters,
I don't
y'all
like to
like,
talk about. I don't like to name drop on nothing. It's like, but
okay,
we family.
okay. Well, I'm excited. You got to let me know when the new Krispy Kreme opens up back over there. Because when I tell you, I was driving to work and
Yeah.
the fire trucks were out there, and actually, I wasn't driving. My husband was driving, and like I was pregnant when the fire happened, and
Oh,
I legit was crying because that was one of my favorite parts. Because on
yeah.
Fridays, everyone would bring in donuts, and I absolutely love donuts. I'm not a fan of the other people, but I love me some Krispy Kreme.
Right. I got you. Okay.
Okay, so do you have any questions for me?
What are your goals?
Wow. Like long term or like short term? Like
Let's
I have
start with
so
two
many.
let's start with two short term. Let's start with two long term.
Okay. Two long term goals I have. I want to establish a international study abroad program for deaf, and pair them with a deaf person and pair them with a hearing partner who knows American Sign Language, but also the other language of wherever they're going to go study. And so I want to learn other sign languages because a lot of people don't know that each country has their own sign language. So if I'm here and I'm learning American Sign Language, but I want to move to France, it's pretty similar French and American Sign Language because of their history. But I want to learn Spanish Sign Language and English, like British English Sign Language. So I want to learn different sign languages. So I feel like setting up a study abroad program would be life changing for this next generation of deaf youth because me studying abroad completely changed my life. And then the second big term goal I have is I want a real estate portfolio large enough for me to do what I do now for free. I love what I do, but I hate charging for it. I know like a lot, it's not about the money for me. So I want money coming in from several assets so that this part is, I just get to live. I love homeschooling my daughter. So I want to be able to do that freely. And like whenever we have other kids, I don't want to be stressed out about not being able to afford stuff. So big term goals are those two. Small term goals with 12 weeks left in a year, setting up this route. Well, I'm good on having a routine. I'm really good with sticking to my routine. I have too many goals to accomplish for me to get distracted easily. So focusing on what are my priorities in this season. So getting my life insurance license back. I know that's random, but 4 years ago, I lost my sister to cancer and she had 5 kids and she had no future planning done. And she was in her 30s and she was really young. And I think she had 2 kinds of cancers. and all of that. So we lost her, and we had to use GoFundMe to pay for her funeral. And I don't want that to happen for anyone else in my family. So it inspired me to learn what I needed to learn about getting my insurance license to help other families as well. So that's my short term. By the end of this year, I'll be reactive. And then, well, my license will be active again. And then my other short term goal is being more consistent with my daughter's homeschool. Like we established it, and we have so many, it's so big because I'm working on a holistic approach. It's Afrocentric, multilingual, Montessori inspired, and it's custom written. So I'm doing a lot of the legwork, but I feel like because it's fun, it won't be as bad. So my short-term goal is being more consistent with her, homeschool.
Gotcha. Good stuff.
Okay, so I am very grateful that you came today. You have no idea. I'm very grateful. I'm excited because like when we were talking the other day, you had no idea if you were going to do it at first, but then like what changed your mind?
I did my research on the company that you're partnering with, and I saw some familiar names. I'm not going to name those names, but I saw some names on there, and I said, you know what? I was that young person who was looking for an interview or looking to interview somebody one day, and I don't know how prepared she's going to come for this interview, but I don't even know what she's going to ask me. But I remember my young journalistic days, and I felt like, you know what? Why not? I mean, the worst I could say is no, but as you say, this show is going to go on whether the person who watches doesn't watch, or the person that comes on does not come on. The show is going to come on. It's still going to air. And it seemed like you were passionate about it. And once I saw that you were compassionate about it, I think my biggest thing was I did not want to come on and make a fool out of myself, but you made me feel comfortable. I feel like no question was too hard. I felt like you did your research, and I'm very impressed with what you were able to present. So I'm very appreciative of that.
Well, thank you. Okay, so random question. What's your favorite sound on your soundboard?
On my mixer?
Yes.
Oh, everybody know. Well, I had to mix a couple of them together, but that's my favorite one right there.
I understand why.
But I have an outro, so I kind of just added a couple of them together. Do you want to hear that one?
Absolutely.
You already know. Tall boy.
So that's how you close out all of your shows? So do you have an intro?
No, the intro is me. Hey, we're here.
Okay.
We're live. So no, I have an intro to the show. So we didn't get a chance to talk about the Lab Tech show, but yeah, so we basically try to do a pre-show. I don't want to start too early, but I like to start on time. So we start at 8:00. The show starts at 8, but I like to try
On Wednesdays, right?
On Wednesday. So the show is called the Lab Tech Show on YouTube, and it airs at 8 p.m. Eastern, and it's live. It's an interactive show, and it's really geared towards an adult crowd or adult audience, basically just simplifying technology in a language that they can understand. So I try to find 4 articles or, a couple of articles that make sense for them, and say, hey, I'm not trying to go over your head. I'm not trying to talk crypto. I'm not trying to talk Binance. I'm not trying to talk about, metaverse, but I'm letting you know of these are rollouts that are happening on a weekly basis. And you need to be prepared for that. And I think a lot of people don't understand how technology, it comes so fast and it's so rapid. And if you don't take the time to learn it, then it's going to go over your head. And my goal was saying, hey, to this adult audience, you guys are the decision makers in the home. You make the decisions on whether or not your kids have it, your husband should have it, or your spouse should have it. So why not be aware of what's going on? And even if you don't even know what's going on, at least even if you hear it, you may not be ready for it today, but at least you heard it from me first, and then maybe you'll hear it somewhere down the pipeline 2 or 3 times, because they say it takes you 3 or 4 times before it to actually process, if that makes sense. So my thing was, let me bring you some topics. And I think one of them was saying Amazon just made cashierless tech a whole lot easier for businesses to use. So basically, Amazon is about to start selling a service to businesses where you can walk into the store and you can walk out without having to go to a cash register. You literally just kind of scan your hand, or you kind of scan to go inside of the store, and there's no need for you to go to a cash register and talk to a clerk. They're already doing it at Amazon, at Whole Foods. They're already doing they're already doing it. So now they're about to start selling this service to other companies. Or Ring is announcing a wearable for your lost pets. So it's like, hey, you lose your pet, you have a QR code, and it gives you information to where you can reach out to the person. So, I mean, these are companies that we are all familiar with, right? But do we really know anything about them? So I think that's really where, and those are just 2 of the articles that I have. But I mean, Spotify is bringing free audiobook trials to paying subscribers. So if you like to listen to audiobooks, I just heard that they're going to allow you to get 15 free hours. But if you already have a Spotify account, did you know that you can now do audiobooks? And then, because you're talking about women, Lyft aims to match women to non-binary riders and drivers with each and more often. So basically, as a woman, so if you're a woman, if you feel uncomfortable in a situation, there's a section that you can say, connect me with a woman driver. And if a woman driver is available, they will try to pair you with her. So that way your ride can be more safer. But these are things that people do not even know that even may even be available. That's even to that this stuff is rolling out and it's available now. So like the Spotify, I think it released either this week or it's releasing next week, and Lyft has already released this. And then this last week, well, I guess a sneak peek. Next week's article, one of them is Uber is about to allow you to return a package. So the holiday season is coming. And what if you don't want to stand in that line? You can return a package back to the post office, FedEx, or UPS. And you can literally go into your app and say, Uber, come pick it up for me. So these are all little tech things that are there, let alone when I do get tech companies to come on, they can speak about their products. And of course, we spoke about Lexa, but a lot of people don't know, if you're traveling, there's a company called Benji Lock where you can use your fingerprint technology. I have my lock over here, so I don't want to get up and leave. I didn't have it on me at the time, but Benji Lock, you can use your fingerprint, and you can use up to 5 fingerprints. So your whole family can have access to this lock. But let's just say you're traveling and you have your
Question. It's like a house lock?
No, this is a regular travel lock, but they have a house lock as well. So they have a door lock for your home. So your kids can literally use the fingerprint door and open up their door. But then they also have it for bike locks. They also have it for, let's just say you're going to the gym, but I was speaking of the one that if you're traveling, it's the first TSA approved fingerprint lock. So you can literally lock it, and the only way you can open it is with your fingerprint, or TSA has their key that's once it goes on the conveyor belt. So Benji Lock was on Shark Tank, and Kevin O'Leary purchased the company. They partnered with another company. I got a chance to meet them at CES, and Robbie has been my guy since his first year launching at CES. And I'd love to promote him anytime I can. So there's another product out called Pledgium. And it's funny because all these products are sitting right over here and I can't get access to them. But Pledgium is a smart pepper spray. So let's just say you felt uncomfortable on the train, right? If you engage that pepper spray, it alarms 5 of your friends, alerts them, and lets them know where you're at. If you pay for the subscription, then what you get, they'll get a phone call. And if you say, what's your favorite color? And you say green, but it's really blue, they will alert the authorities to where that smart pepper spray is. So it's not only a pepper spray, not only is it a flashlight and an alarm, but it will also alert 5 of your friends and let them know where you are. And it's about a 90% accuracy rate. And then the 5th one is it will call you, and if you pay for the subscription, it will ask you what your favorite color is. So if you don't answer, or if you don't answer the secret code, then they will dispatch the authorities. So these are all tech products that are available. They're on the market. You can buy them on Amazon. You can buy them on their respective websites. And it's just really finding more companies that are at the Consumer Electronics Show for me to say, how can I introduce these companies to you guys that that are interested and saying, hey, I didn't even know that this was on the market. My kids need this. My husband needs this. I need this because I travel or I work out. My pet needs this. So how do I introduce these products to you and let you be more aware of what's going on?
Wow. Okay. So earlier this week, like legit earlier this week, I was going through my phone and I found some old videos of my dog. I had a dog a few years ago, I want to say 2017, it got stolen. And if I would have had that technology, I would have been able to recover I rescued her. So I would have been able to recover her. So that would have been helpful. And then, like, you just listed a whole bunch of things. And I'm like, wow, like, this is a lot. But this is because you go to those kind of niche events and you meet so many people because you literally stand out. Like when we first met, and the next day I was like, how do I find you tomorrow? And then you said, just look up. And literally the next day I was meeting with people, and then you were walking and I looked up. I was like, oh, guys, I gotta go. My security is here. I don't know if you
Wow.
remember that, but I was having a whole conversation with them. And I think it was really cool that you were able to be my security. But you're telling me about pepper spray that'll alert my friends. Like I carry knives, I carry tasers, but none of them will alert my friends to where I am in that moment. And so I wanted to at least like ask another question.
Go
This
ahead.
one is tech related. Okay,
Okay.
so for people who've seen the worst part of what artificial technology can do, artificial intelligence with the robots gone wild kind of movies and stuff like that, what can you give them as far as advice about what artificial intelligence is doing moving forward?
Um, to be honest with you, I highly recommend you embrace this technology. Don't be afraid of it. I do think that you should embrace it because unless the government regulates it, um, it's going to take over. I do think that it's going to put a lot of people out of work. That's my personal opinion. So if you don't, I just saw where a robot was literally cleaning the bathroom in less than 90 seconds. So, and it literally could open up the door. It could literally go in as a robot, clean the bathroom, walk out, go into another bath, roll out and go into another bathroom and do it. So basically the janitors, if you don't want to work, guess what? I just saw the other day where Chipotle has an automation process, and all it's doing is just saying, hey, I just need you to do this. And you program it. So there's a service out called ChatGPT, and you can literally have it write out your resume. And you can say, write a resume that specializes in this. You can ask it to write a Facebook post to do that. So whatever it is that you want to do, and there's not just ChatGPT, there's multiple services that you can use. The other day, I was literally went to ChatGPT and said, write a post uh, introducing people to the Lab Tech Show. There's a service out called Speech Key. This is all AI. So ChatGPT literally wrote out the post, right? And then I literally copied the post, put it inside of this service called Speech Key, that's Speech KI. And it literally, I found the voice that I wanted it to do. And I don't know if I can bring this up. Is it all right if I play it or not? I don't know if I can do it
Sure.
or not on your show. But I said, please create this. I just took the copy, found the voice that I wanted. And once I found the voice that I wanted, I literally had it play. I never said a word, and people could not believe that I actually did this. So this is what I did. Can you hear this? Give me 1 second. So that was all AI. I never said.
We couldn't hear any of that. Can you try it again?
Oh, you didn't hear.
I was
any of that.
waiting. You said, hold on 1 second.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me see. Can I share my screen? Let me see. Yep, there we go. Media player. How about that? Here we go. Here we go.
We're not getting any audio.
You're not getting any audio. Okay.
No.
All right. So apparently you can't get it. So I tried to bring it into the Zoom call, but apparently it won't let me do it. But there is a post on my Instagram page to where you can actually hear what the gentleman was saying. And basically he just says, hello, everyone. And I literally copied the content from ChatGPT, put it inside of this AI voice cloning service, and it pretty much produced a voiceover for me. And so now, if you're a radio personality, if you do voiceovers, if I can't afford you, I hate to say this. So now it's, how do you make this work for you? So when I say embrace it, my thing is, if you're the person that says, hey, I want to do this, offer this as a service for somebody. You learn it and then offer it as a service. And that way you can turn around and say, I know how to do this and I can offer it as a service. And now it works for me. Hey, I can write out your business proposal for you, or I can do whatever that task may be. So you basically be the liaison versus you out there trying to figure out how to do it by yourself, if that makes, instead of you allowing it to take over you. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. Oh, wow. I just learned so much in such a short time. I'm definitely going to be checking out your Lab Tech show on Wednesday at 8:00 on YouTube. I'm really excited. Is this one that you just showed or one that you will be showing?
What do you mean?
This audio that you were sharing is from one you just showed?
The one that let me see, let me go to Instagram before I confirm anything, right? Give me 1 second. Yes, if you go to my Instagram, it's my very first post. If you go to @IamTallBoy, it's the very first post, and you can actually hear the actual audio of a AI voice cloning. It was in the system, and I found a voice that I felt would represent my show to the best of its ability. And it went from there.
Wow. All right. So you asked me earlier if I could teach you something in ASL. I technically am retired with my teaching part, but I am going to show you the sign for thank you. So this is the sign for thank you.
Okay.
So thank you for showing up today. It was very awesome having you on the show. I look forward to speaking with you soon and checking out your show, as well as your merch. You are such a very powerful person. It was an honor.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Once again, I can't thank you enough. And I really appreciate the passion that you have. I was like, I did not know what multi-bilingual, the way intergeneration, I was like, she's using all these big words. I need you to simplify this for me. And I don't want to come across unprofessional on your show, but you really made me feel comfortable being here today. So thank you so much for that.
Oh, no problem. Well, is there one shout out you want to give before we end this?
One shout out?
To the person who was like one of the most impactful people that you don't tell thank you enough.
That I don't tell thank you enough to? Well, this gentleman, he's passed away, and I love him to death. Sideman baby. If you're from Atlanta, when I say Sideman, you say baby. Sideman baby.
Baby.
Or when I say happy, you say birthday. Happy birthday.
Birthday.
Right. That gentleman right there. When I tell you, he is my why. When I gave up professional sports and fell into radio, he was the first gentleman that I met. And he told me, if you show up, I'll teach you any and everything that you want to know. And I literally hold, and this is probably the reason why I don't get help, because people don't show up. I showed up every single day. I worked for free at that radio station for 2.5 years, and I showed up every day. And when I say that man made sure that I was okay, if anybody ever knows who Sideman was, he was a true giver, and I can't thank him enough. And I wish I could have more conversations with him. I still speak to his family and, let them know that, hey, I'm still here if they need me. But that man did not have to open his door to a stranger and welcome him as a family member. He did not have to do that. And this is why I am and who I am today.
So if I could narrow it down, a nugget that you have for up and coming entrepreneurs is show up and be consistent.
Just show up. If you want it bad enough, you'll show up. If you show up, you'll be amazed at the doors that will open up. Period. If you just show up, sometimes you never know.
That's when you hit it.
I forgot. I did. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm messing up.
Period.
If you show up, you never know. Like going to a conference, a seminar, you never know who you're going to meet. If you go to the grocery store, you never know what deal you're going to get. You just got to show up. So, and I think a lot of people do not want to show up, and I think they just want it handed to them. And sometimes
or they might be scared.
Well, I mean, that's a true possibility. But the thing is, when you show up, just like you got your opportunity where you are today, you showed up somewhere where they saw something in you, they believed in you, and they said, hey, we have an opportunity. And then you showed up. And the one thing that I read that stuck out in your email to me was, this show is going to go on. And I think I resonated with that more than anything else that was in that email, because I always felt like that with my project. If you don't show up on time, this show still starts at 8:00. If you don't show up on time or you don't show up at all, guess what? One monkey don't stop no show. I believe in the Lab Tech Show, and I do believe that it's going to be an international show that's going to be world renowned. Now, do I have some things that I have to work out? Yes, I do. But at the same token, I do believe that companies, my vision is for companies to come to me in an influx and say, hey, Tallboy, we want you to simplify this for the consumer. And hopefully the consumer will be that intrigued to where it says, I need that. There's something out there that everyone needs, and it's just literally a middleman separating them from marrying the two together. So hopefully I can be blessed with God's grace to be that middleman, and we go from there.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.
Thank you. Blessing.